Welcome to This Explainer. Building a brilliant product, that's literally just the starting line. The real friction happens when you try to actually move that product physically into the market and psychologically into your consumer's mind.
So, getting a product into a customer's hands requires absolute mastery of physical distribution. But getting it into their head, that requires promotion. Today, we're going to explore how physical logistics and customer psychology are, well, they're really just two halves of the exact same coin. You simply cannot scale without both.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll map out distribution channels, master the supply chain, crack open the promotional mix toolkit, and finally integrate that go-to-market strategy. Let's just jump right in.
Part 1. Mapping distribution channels.
Okay, so every business faces this fundamental distribution trade-off. Direct channels give you total control and higher margins, but your reach is totally bottlenecked. Indirect channels, on the other hand, trade away that control and a chunk of your profit to utilize wholesalers and retailers. Think of it like this. A direct channel is a fast stream flowing into a single pond, while indirect channels, they're like branching tributaries reaching thousands of ponds, but they require intense coordination.
Now, if you go that indirect route, intermediaries take on three massive burdens for you. We're talking transactional risks, the physical logistics of storing and moving the goods, and facilitating financing and market data. They essentially act as your outsourced retail team. They do the heavy lifting so the producer can focus entirely on what they do best, product innovation.
Moving on to Part 2. Mastering the supply chain.
I absolutely love this analogy from the source material. It captures the sheer complexity of supply chain management perfectly. Think of the raw material suppliers, the factory workers, and the drivers as musicians, right? They're all playing different instruments. Supply chain management is the conductor. If they don't collaborate flawlessly, the entire performance just totally falls apart.
Looking at this end-to-end coordination in action, it moves from procurement right into production, through distribution, and finally returns. But the overarching theme across all four of these steps is this constant, stressful balancing act. You're always trying to maximize cost efficiency while maintaining incredible service responsiveness. Not an easy task.
But, hey, here's the catch that bridges our two main topics today. It honestly doesn't matter how efficiently a product moves down the river if no one is waiting at the pond to catch it. You can build the world's most flawless supply chain, but without consumer demand, your product is literally just going to gather dust on a shelf. Which brings us to Part 3. The promotional mix toolkit.
Now, promotion isn't just about shouting with a megaphone. It's really a structured, integrated conversation designed to inform, persuade, and remind your market. To pull this off, you need a mix of tools, carefully matching the right message to the right medium.
Let's run through the 5 distinct tools of this conversation, starting with the big one, advertising. This is paid, non-personal communication broadcast out through mass media.
With advertising, you select your media entirely based on your target audience's habits. Think of it as a massive billboard on a busy highway. It is fantastic for broad exposure and shaping long-term brand impressions. But it kind of lacks that immediate urgency to force a purchase right this very second.
To inject that urgency, we use our second tool, sales promotion. These are short-term incentives, discounts, coupons, samples, things engineered specifically to stimulate an immediate purchase or a product trial.
A limited-time sale creates powerful psychological urgency. You can aim these directly at consumers or offer trade discounts to get retailers to stock your stuff. But strategically, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Rely too heavily on sales promotions, and you'll erode your margins and actually train your customers to never pay full price again.
Next, we drastically shift our approach. We move away from mass communication and zoom right into individualized, direct, face-to-face contact, personal selling.
This is basically a tailored consultation. It requires real human expertise, which makes it incredibly expensive per contact. However, the conversion rates? They're unmatched. It is an absolute necessity for complex, high-value products where a buyer really needs specific objections handled before they commit.
Our fourth tool shifts away from paid tactics entirely. Public relations, or PR, is unpaid communication focused purely on building goodwill and managing your public image through media relations.
The crucial currency here is credibility. Studies consistently show that consumers trust earned media far more than paid ads. When a news outlet or an influencer covers your brand organically, it acts just like a recommendation from a trusted friend. It carries a weight that paid advertising simply cannot buy.
Finally, we round out our toolkit with direct marketing. This is highly targeted, trackable communications delivered straight to an individual.
Think personalized emails or specialized catalogs. This relies heavily on database segmentation to act as a customized invitation with a very clear call to action. Because it's so targeted, the response rates are highly measurable, and it can yield massive ROI when you time it perfectly with audience needs.
And lastly, Part 4, integrating your go-to-market strategy.
This right here is your ultimate go-to-market playbook. It's all about aligning your promotional mix with your channels. If you're targeting the trade layer, your goal is shelf space, so you use B2B selling and discounts. For the consumer layer, you drive direct demand with mass ads and coupons. And the omni-channel layer, that's the glue. It ensures your physical inventory feedback loop actually talks to your marketing team. Simply put, trade promotions guarantee the product is on the shelf, while consumer promotions guarantee the buyer walks in specifically asking for it.
I'll leave you with this provocative thought. Think of everything we've covered today as a massive relay race. The physical handoff of the baton, which is your supply chain, absolutely must perfectly match the timing and signals of the runners, which is your promotional strategy. If one is off, the baton drops. Take a look at your own business. Is your strategy a disjointed, chaotic effort, or is it a perfectly synchronized relay team? Thanks so much for joining this explainer. See you next time as we continue to break down the strategies that shape our world.